Hello, my wonderful people. Another glorious day. Let me tell you, I am ready for some quiet time and some calm, and I'm afraid like it's not gonna come for a while. So, yeah, yesterday I had taken the day off because I had a couple appointments. The first being right away in the morning. I had to get up at 7 a.m., go get my car over to the Mercedes dealership because the engine light is coming on yet again. And remember, I was there just a few weeks ago for the same issue, and they accused me of putting low-grade fuel in the tank, and that was the cause. And so I had to pay out of pocket to get the fuel system all cleaned out and whatever. So it was fine for a couple weeks, and then it started doing the same thing again. So it was 1000% not the fuel, and I tried to explain that to them the first time, like I only use premium in this car, but alas, what can you do? And so clearly that wasn't the issue because we're still having a problem, and I can guarantee you I've only put premium in since. So, you know, I had to drop it off. I told the guy like twice, like, it's not the fuel. It's not the fuel. You know, it could be spark plugs. I read that there was a recall on some of these for a cylinder head and like things like that. So I'm like, please dive deep. Please take care of this because I do not have the time nor want to spend the time to be coming back and forth here at your very inconvenient times to dick around with us. Like, I just don't have the time to do it, on top of all these appointments that I have for the doctor and my regular daily life as well. So yeah, we'll see what they have to say. They've put me in another rental, and yeah, again, fancy, woo, don't like them. I don't care for like these little like sedan type cars, like, and especially now it's starting to get colder and colder. We are under a winter advisory watch, and like the last thing I want is to be in like an unfamiliar vehicle that is a rental essentially on the ice and snow. So far we're okay, but you know what I mean? It's just like, my God, it's just another thing on the list, right? So yeah, we got that done. I was dead exhausted because I have not been sleeping the best. I have not at all been sleeping the best. And I took a little nap, had an appointment for baby, my 24-week appointment, and as far as I could tell, everything is fine so far. Heartbeat is good. And the doctor put the Doppler on me, and baby literally kicked right where the Doppler was, so that was really funny. And I found out some interesting information because she's like, well, I saw that you had declined these extra ultrasounds with the specialist and stuff because they found that single umbilical artery cord, right? Or in the cord. And I was like, yeah, you know, they couldn't even get me, you know, scheduled in for anything for so far out. And I'm like, this baby is going to be coming like really soon after that. So like, what is the point of stressing to go to all these extra appointments, paying for all this extra stuff? Like, what is that going to do? And she was like, yeah, she's like, no, I totally agree. And she's like, actually, with the rest of your upcoming appointments, we can actually schedule you for extra ultrasounds, and we can also, you know, do like a stress test, which I would recommend doing a little bit more towards the end just to make sure everything's good. And I was just like, perfect. Yeah, like, let's do that. Why wasn't that a suggestion from the beginning? Why did you have to, oh, you need to go see the specialist, like make a whole freaking production out of it? Why? When you could just do it all right here when I'm coming in for my normal appointments. So, good news, but also annoying. It's like, do you guys just do this? Like, try to take advantage of people, especially like first-time parents, like, oh, you need to do this and this and this and this, and like have you come in for all these appointments. And I'm gonna tell you, my health insurance is not that good. Like, it hardly covers much of anything. Like, I just get a bill for like $200, you know, coming to me, and I'm like, I don't even know what this is for. So yeah, insurance doesn't do much, honestly. So healthcare is crazy expensive, very, very expensive. And not having healthcare, even more expensive, especially if you don't qualify for free healthcare. So yeah, I definitely don't, unfortunately. So fortunately, unfortunately, right? Double-edged sword there. So yeah, anyway, got that done. Went to Meijer, had to go pick up the ham for my grandparents. That's something they really look forward to for Thanksgiving. Got the ham, got some wrapping paper and stuff, and it, of course, was a madhouse because, you know, Thanksgiving is tomorrow. So, yeah, it was crazy busy, but we only had a couple things to get, so it was pretty quick, thankfully. And then I went to my grandparents' house, dropped it off for a second, helped my grandpa set up his Prime account because Amazon Prime kicked him out. I share my account with him. And so I got him all situated again and went back home. And yeah, just when we got home, I wanted to make choco balls, Filipino choco balls, because, you know, again, Thanksgiving is tomorrow, and I wanted to bring that for my family to try because they're so, so, so good. And then I'm also going to be bringing bacon wrapped weenies with me as well. Those are always a hit. I'm going to do that the morning of, hopefully with enough time this time, because like last year I was, you know, they took about an hour longer than expected and I was late. So hopefully plan a little bit sooner this time and I have a little bit of a buffer window. But yeah, I made the choco balls for the first time all by myself. I'm always usually the one who makes them. He did help me and everything, but yeah, I assembled it, got them all together, and we tasted one, and he was impressed. He was like, I want to be honest with you. He's like, I think these are better than mine. He said they're less oily. He's like, what did you do? I was like, well, you were there with me the whole time. He's like, well, not when you rolled them. And I'm like, well, you know, you were there for all the mixing and adding and stuff. I was like, he's like, well, when you oiled your hands, because you have to oil your hands because they're very, very sticky. I said, I just use like the Pam spray butter cooking stuff. And he's like, oh, he's like, I use olive oil. And I'm like, okay. So that's the trick to make them less greasy. Use Pam. So and the only reason I did that is because it was more convenient and it seemed like less messy for me. So yeah, but I do have a few things that I gotta try to get done today. I might be meeting with my girl Kristen for lunch today. That was the plan last I knew. Don't know if that's still happening. I got too much stuff going on. I do have a Christmas gift for her. I want to give that to her before the holidays because she's taking off for the Bahamas in December, and then we got holidays and all that stuff coming up. So gotta try to fit that in if she's still planning on doing that. I don't even know. And I got a couple of things I gotta deal with here at work, which is, you know, this is the way it freaking goes. Like, one, it was my fault. I missed putting a lat belt on the contract for somebody I just sold to. So I gotta get that open back up, which, you know, gotta have a manager do. Open that back up, get it added, get it re-signed, turn that in. Whatever, not a huge deal. Guy who's the one who caught it and he wants it, so not a huge deal. We can get that done. And then somebody that I was fighting for, because I told you about those 2 finance deals that were just an absolute nightmare. Well, the first one, they got their car delivered finally, and then they're emailing saying, where's the plates? And I'm like, that's a good freaking question, because the lender that they go through does offer temp plates. However, I don't know if we aren't doing it or still need to send it. I'm just like, can't we just be done with it? Like, I just want to be done with this. And then I have my other guy who I fought for in finance for weeks, like 3 weeks. Got him approved finally, and then he got into an accident with his trade. So now we are at a total standstill with everything until he gets that resolved. And now I've got the people in finance here on our end, or people in finance, following up with me saying, hey, do we have pictures? Is the valuation going to change? Like, we need to let the bank know, you know, if contracting is going to change. And I'm like, I'm in touch with my boss about this. He has the pictures. We're the ones who are dealing with this. Like, why are you rearing your ugly head into this when you've been zero help throughout this whole entire process? Like, and why are you asking if I have pictures? That's not your role. That's not your job. Like, I don't know. It's so freaking weird. So weird. I'm just gonna keep it cool. And I don't even know how I'm gonna respond. Just be like, hey, I'm actively working with Justin on this. Like, yeah, he's got the pictures. like, butt out. Why don't you just focus on what you should have been doing this whole time and not like all this extra stuff? Like, stop. So I gotta deal with that, and you know, hopefully, you know, maybe close another sale. We'll see. I do have one person that I was kind of hopeful about, but I haven't heard from them in a couple days, and I know that they were actively working with another company that was local because they're trying to sell them on a hunk of junk, basically, that's going to give them problems, which they're worried about having problems. I'm like, well, that's the car to get if you want problems. But, you know, when you say stuff like that, people get kind of like on edge and they're just like, I'm like, no, I'm just being totally honest. Like, I've been doing this for a while. Like, you're not going to be happy. But anyway, it is what it is. So I'm just not going to stress about it. We're right at the end of the year. I think I'm like 4 cars away from hitting the big bonus. Don't know if I'm going to do it or not. It'd be really nice if I could, honestly, especially because I've got a little one here on the way. We're on our way. Like, a lot of things coming up. So it'd be great. If I don't, I don't. And then other awesome news is Mo's got an interview today for, a job, and yeah, that's really exciting. He just filled out an application last night, and then they emailed him right back and said, hey, how soon can we schedule you for an interview? And yeah, so he's going to go in. So amazing luck to him. We'll keep navigating through this whole process. He got his permit finally. So it's just like one big thing after another with us, like back to back to back. So he's got that, and hopefully in a month we can take his road test and he will be a official licensed driver in the state of Michigan. So yeah. Anyways, thanks for listening to me ramble and rant. There was a few days worth of ranting and rambling, so always appreciate it. Like, share, and subscribe, would ya? Really appreciate when you do that. I'll talk to you again real soon, okay? Bye-bye.